I haven't paid my bounce back loan. What is going to happen to me? Okay, are you a director who took a bounce back loan but didn't bounce back? Do you want to know exactly what happens if you don't pay your bounce back loan back? If you do, please keep watching until the end of the video. My name is Chris Worden. I'm from a company called Director First, and what we do here is we look after you, the director. We put you first. We help you understand insolvency. It's been quite complicated. Now, first of all, if you cannot pay your bounce back loan, I'm going to explain step by step exactly what the banks are going to do. Keep watching. The first thing I want you to do is stop worrying about this. The bounce back loan lender that you've got, regardless of who it is, Santander, HSBC, NatWest, Tide, Starling, Metro, they want to help you. They don't want to make things any worse if you can't repay them. But it's crucial that you know how to handle this situation. So step one, you've got to tell the lender that you're struggling. And this is a call that people don't want to make. They're frightened. But honest to God, if you call the lender, tell them that you're having trouble paying, tell them you cannot afford to repay your bounce back loan, that the stress of not being able to pay your bounce back loan is going to affect your well-being, and ask them, can you offer me any extra help? And most banks will offer you a bit of breathing space where they won't chase you for payments for a while. Now, step two, when you're talking to your BBL lender, they're going to ask to see if you can afford to repay, and they're going to start to offer the pay-as-you-grow options. Now, for those that don't know, the pay-as-you-grow is a number of options where you can restructure your bounce back loan. One of them is changing the amount of time that you're going to repay it from 6 years to 10 years. That will bring your monthly payments down by almost half. Obviously, you pay a little bit more interest. They'll also talk about payment holidays. You can take a 6-month payment holiday at any time throughout the term, and you can also take 3 6-month interest-only holidays where you just pay off the interest. But you can refuse all of these options if you can't afford them, okay? Step 3 is the default process, okay? So if your lender actually might say, listen, we can't do anything until you've defaulted on the loan. And what a default means is you've missed 3 payments, okay? You missed 3 consecutive payments, and that puts you into a default status. But some lenders, if you're vulnerable, and I speak to a lot of vulnerable people, they'll accelerate this process to prevent any more stress, okay? So if you're suffering, make sure you'll tell them that you're suffering. In some cases though, even if you're in default, the bank may allow scheduled payments to go out, which could cause you to become overdrawn. So it's dead important, if you're going down this process, ensure that your bank won't allow your account to go overdrawn, and discuss this concern with them during the call, okay? So you've missed 3 consecutive payments, you receive a default notice from your lender, often leading to a restriction on that account. So your bank account that has the bounce back loan in will disappear. You won't be able to see it on online banking. It's not been written off yet, but you can't get access to it. Now, some lenders, okay, they may even try and close your current account, your current business account. If that happens, you can still go to another lender to open another bank account, and it just happens every now and again, so just be aware of it. Now, once you've had your default notice, the next thing you get is going to get a demand for full repayment, and it typically requiring you to settle the entire outstanding debt. And it mentions about affecting your credit score. So this scares the life out of people. And I don't like the terminology. I think it's quite considering they're really helpful, the banks here, these letters scare they scare people. Now, when it talks about credit score, it doesn't mean you, the director's credit score, it suggests the company's credit score. Now, if the company's struggling to pay back a bounce back loan, the credit score's probably up shit creek anyway, okay? So it's not your Experian, it's the company's credit score that could be affected, right? Now, despite it's got quite an intimidating tone, this letter, it's standard procedure to recoup funds. It's nothing personal, okay? It's a requirement of the bounce back loan government guarantee. Step 4 with dealing with a bounce back loan, right, is the process after default and demand for full repayment, okay? You get the shitty letter. Now, once you've had that default, lenders can claim against the government guarantee, and they often get the dough back within 12 days. Now, defaulting will usually hold any interest, and it eliminates any additional default fees moving forward. Lenders seldom let you know that they've had the money back from the bounce back loan, but recovery action can involve internal teams or third-party debt collectors, all adhering to the same rules. So you might be hearing off Moorcroft, you might be hearing off the Zing Group. It might not be your bank getting in touch with you after the default process. So step 5, we'll talk about the recovery process. So lenders, all their representative debt collectors, they refrain from visiting your house. Okay, they're not going to come out to see you. No bailiffs are going to come. It's all going to be done by the phone or via mail or via email. Now, their objective is to try and negotiate a repayment plan with you, tailored to your financial situation, okay? If you can't afford these repayment plans, they might revisit the circumstances in 3, 6 or 9 months, okay? And they'll do that for up to a year. But remember, it's very, very light touch. It's not your normal debt collectors, these guys. They can't put any undue pressure. Now, even small payments are welcome. Tell them you can afford a tenner a month if that's what you can afford. But if no repayment plan is viable, remember, if your business has stopped trading, you don't need to keep pumping personal money into that business. They're obligated, the lenders are obligated to step back and cease recovery efforts. What does that, listen, you've got to stop worrying about this, okay? I speak to so many people on a daily basis that really, yeah, get the business into liquidation, that's the right thing to do. But these people have not got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. It's going to cost nigh on £5 to liquidate the business, and these people are struggling to pay the rent, pay the mortgage and feed the kids. I don't want your money, if you paying 4,800 quid is going to affect you feeding your children this month. I want to help you and give you this advice that nobody else gives you. So, here's some common questions that people are asking about this. Will the lender make you bankrupt? Will the bank who give you a bounce back loan make you bankrupt? In almost all cases, no. The only time they're going to make you bankrupt is in the extreme cases where you've been involved in organised fraud, okay? Another question I get is, can you still trade after defaulting? Yeah, you can actually. You can continue to trade and default on your bounce back loan, but you've got to be careful of other debts cropping up, you know? Another question I get asked is, how many businesses have actually defaulted? Well, 1.5 million bounce back loans were given out, and 250,000 have already defaulted. Please don't be too scared to call your bank. If you're struggling with a bounce back loan, it's not the end and you're not on your own. I hope you found the video useful. My name's Chris Worden, Director First. God bless you.